welcome everyone. This is Irvin, aka Team with Irvin, and welcome to this week idea. Today is July 7, 2019, making today a Sunday. As always, we have few guests that are joining our week idea. They will be asking some questions regarding the market opportunity, and as always, I will be trying my very best to answer all their questions based on my knowledge. All right, let's begin with. Okay, guys. Pretty much what I'm gonna be go over today is some of the ideas that I had already compiled for this coming week based on my analysis that I do every week. And then what I do is I stick to my plan, and then I recheck my ideas based on what Pat and Jenny do when they do the live training. I just kind of like reconfirm my idea if they are accurate. But you don't have to trade it. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another fellow trader like you, looking for great opportunity to squeeze some pips out of this market. So in this instance, we had Euro USD here. I have it on the daily, and I had already plugged in there the Fibonacci line. And what I'm seeing on the daily is it's gonna do a pullback. I'm looking for the pullback to go back to the Fibonacci 0 line to touch that, and then it's gonna bounce back to either the 38, 50, and 61. Remember, on the Fibonacci, the most popular three area of retracements are on the 38, 50, and 61. So now, based on my analysis, I'm looking for this one to be a retracement. Based on my analysis, I'm looking for this one to go all the way to the 78 Fibonacci line. And if you see here, I have a crossover. Let me put a vertical line. If you see here, we got a crossover on the MACD, and we do not have any confirmation yet on the pullback based on the well, you guys don't have the magic killer, but on the ADX there's a nicely crossover in there. There's the momentum is slow. Obviously the market is closed, but everything is telling us that it's a retracement back. So that's what I'm looking into, like getting some pips out of this go back to this 0 line. But we got the triple arrow here. Triple arrow is telling us that it's a bullish market. All right, now let me move to the next pair. I got the GBP USD on the 4 hours. I'm looking for a retracement to go back to the 0.0 line again, and then hopefully to go back to the 61 retrace. Continue his path. But right now we do not have any triple arrow, nothing like that. So that's what I'm waiting for a couple of candles to form and give me a buy signal. But as you see here on the major killer, there's a momentum coming, showing us that the market is about to turn. But it's obviously we don't have fully confirmation yet. So, but that's my analysis. I'm gonna be paying attention to this pair and see what the future holds. On my next one, on the NUSD, I have a retracement. It's coming back. We got the triple arrow is showing us there is a bullish, but it already touched the 50. If you pay attention on the Fibonacci, it already finished the retracement, and the retracement is stopped on the 50 line, and now it's coming down. So my idea is that it's gonna retrace back to the beginning, and then it's gonna continue up. But like right now, the MACD is showing us that it's still a bullish, which is accurate, and the major killer is showing us that it's a buy as well. And then on the ADX, we have a nice crossover. The market is trending up. See that? Let me highlight this so you can have an idea what I look for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, let me show you my idea, and then we discuss some other ideas. Let's see, there's a background
Hello?
noise. Yeah, I see that. You said there's a background noise?
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
Huh. I don't know what it is. Okay, it's gone. Whatever it was, it's back. All right, so my next idea that I have here is the AUD USD. We have a triple arrow showing us the market is bullish, and it was strengthening between the 78 and the 38 Fibonacci line. So that's when the market usually, that's what it does, the pullback, and then it went back to the zero line. Now my idea is this is the daily dot. On the daily dot is showing that it's gonna continue doing the pullback. So if it does, then probably we'll come back to this the AA line, and then it's gonna continue back to the 38 line. And here, let me put the vertical line. All right, look at here. This is a really nice pair. We have a nice crossover here. Then look at what the major killer is showing us. There's a momentum that market is gonna is still bullish. And then we have another crossover on the ADX, a really nice crossover. So that's what my analysis is gonna the pullback is gonna go back to the AA line and go up. And on the NC JPY, again, I have the triple arrow are showing right here, and it seems like there's a continuation of the pullback. So if the pullback continues to the AA line, see the white dots are my weekly dot. So pretty much what it has touched previously is my weekly dot, and it never broke out of that. So if it continue down, it's gonna go back to the weekly dot, and then it's gonna continue its path up. But if you see here, put a vertical line again. See, we got a crossover here. It's a bullish. Then we got a small momentum on the major killer, and we got a really nice crossover on the ADX. And that's what I'm expecting this to go back to the AA line and let the market run as its own direction, which is bullish. And the other pair that I have is the EJPY on the 4 hours. So the market right now on 4 hour is showing us that it's trending down. We got the triple arrow there. So it did the pullback. The pullback was on the 50 Fibonacci line, and then it's gonna continue its path to the 100 line, and then it's gonna do another pullback to either to the 6150 or 38 Fibonacci line. And if you see here, we really got a nice sell based on what the history is telling us on the let me go back here. All right, see this, we got a nice crossover on the MACD, and we got a small momentum on the major killer usually match the big arrow with, sometimes it is either the small arrow. Usually the yellow arrow shows up late, but it match with the big arrow. And then we got a nice crossover here on the ADX that is showing us the market is bullish right now. And then let me go back to the next one, to CAT CJ. Why is it not working? Okay, right here. All right, this is very weird. So, but the market is bulling up. So look at here. We got triple arrow, nice triple arrow here. Let me put a vertical line here. There's no momentum yet of the market is gonna reverse back, but look at here, it's showing us a nice crossover on the MACD, and then we got a nice clean crossover on the ADX, and that's what I'm expecting the market to continue all the way to the zero line, to the previous high, and which it has that Y, the weekly dot, and then it's gonna continue, and then it's gonna go down to do the retracement to the 38 Fibonacci line. The next pair I have here is we got a really nice triple arrow on JP and CD, and let me put the vertical line again. Okay, so triple arrow are showing clearly in there, and then we got a nice crossover here, and then what do we see here on the major killer? We have a really nice momentum going up, which it is accurately. You see, that's what I was telling you earlier. Usually it match with the big arrow. See there? Perfectly. Big arrow is there, and the momentum of the magic killer, it was there. So and then we got a nice crossover here that is showing that the market is trending up, and that's what I'm expecting this to either go all the way to the 50 up to the 61 Fibonacci line, and then it's gonna retrace back to the beginning. So you can catch some pips in there and wait for the next movement. On our next one is on USD CHF. Let me put that vertical line. Right now on this pair we got the big arrow and the small arrow, but the yellow arrow is missing. So what I'm expecting on this one is to retrace back from the 50 Fibonacci line. Then it's gonna do the pullback to the 23, and hopefully by when it's touched the 23, the 38 Fibonacci line, we got probably gonna start seeing the yellow arrow. But based on this analysis here, we have a nice crossover, and then we got the major killer is showing us there's a high momentum, the market is trending up, and then you barely see the on the ADX there's a crossover, you barely see it, but the momentum on the white line is very weak. Obviously the market is closed, so we cannot see further than that. And my last analysis that I have for this week is the did I just mention? Oh, yeah, this CJPY. Let me see here. All right, so we got a nice triple arrow here, very neat. And this is the 4 hours, right? And then I got a nice crossover here. Look at how simple it is. Trading is very simple if you just stick to your rules. And look at here, really nice momentum on the major killer. And what do we see here on the ADX? The ADX is very powerful. I really thank Jenny for bringing this up. But look at here, everything in here is telling us it was a sell. So now as I do see my 4 hours and my daily dot. The dailies are the yellow one, and the 4 hours are the green ones. And then it's right now it has 2 dots on the 4 hours. So expecting that pair to retrace back to the 38 Fibonacci line, and then it's gonna continue down to 78, or either it's gonna continue all the way to the previous low, which was the Y line, which is somewhere in here. So that is my analysis that I do every Sunday. And I got some few requests from some of you guys to show you guys how I do the flip flop 10 pips RSI, and I don't know if you guys want me to uh, show you that or either to go back to some of my analysis. Anyone has any question? Going once? Any question?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. What is
Yeah,
your question?
I have a question about the pairs you're looking at.
Okay.
I I noticed that you, for some of the pairs, you started on the daily time frame, while for some others you started on the 4 hour time frame.
Yeah, well, you see,
So,
what I do on Sundays is I get ready. So I have my 9, 10 pairs ready for this week. So I always look to the a higher time frame, and then I usually take my trades either on the 50-minute or either 1 hour. So when I do my analysis on the daily, I trade on 1 hour. When I do my analysis on 4 hours, I usually execute it on 50 minutes. That's why I always start with the higher time frame, because the higher time frame control the small time frame. But if you pay attention to this pair here, to the CJPY, you see here on the 4 hours, the triple arrow showed up in here, and then if you
yes, sir.
and then what I usually do is I put the vertical line right, and then I put my eyes down and I look. Alright, there's some noise in there, and then there is a nice crossover on the MACD, and a really nice momentum on the major trader. Look at what the ADX is showing us. The ADX it has a really nice crossover. That's how you have to look perfectly. This is the setting that you have to see every time that you want to enter into a trade. If you don't see this, don't enter, because this is not a gambling business. You're here to make pips, and if you stick to your rules, trust me, the market will hit you, because you grabbing some pips. But I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes, sir. But just one more thing, sir. If I start looking at the 4 hour time frame, I see triple arrows, I see the MACD crossover, I see the major killer and the ADX crossover on the 4 hour time frame. So I'll go to the 15-minute time frame and see exactly the same thing. Am I correct, sir?
All right, look at this example here on the JP NCD. This is the 4 hours, right? What do you see here?
Yes, sir.
I already highlighted it for you. You see the triple arrow, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Let me delete this. All right, and then put your eyes down. What I do is, because I just draw the vertical line, because it's easy for me to spot what I'm looking for. Once I had that, I look, well, in this case it's a perfect sample because it has the triple arrow. Then I put my eyes down, and I do see a crossover on the MACD. What did you see here? As well as is showing that it's above the 50 level, right? And then obviously
Yes.
you don't have the major killer. Major killer usually appears right after the big arrow, but there is a high momentum. The market is up, which we already know. And what do you see on the ADX? And the ADX, you really have a nice crossover that just began.
Yes, sir.
Now based on this pair, and look at what the money tree is showing you, it just turned green.
Green, yeah.
Right. So basically everything is telling you there is a bullish. So now remember, on the Fibonacci line, the the more historical retracement lines are usually on the 38, 50, and 61. Those are the most respected retracement area. So now my analysis is that it's gonna continue all the way to the 50 Fibonacci line, and then it's gonna retrace back to the beginning.
Okay.
But if you want to ever trade on this is a good example. I usually trade right after it breaks either my money tree, which will be on the second candle somewhere in here where I just draw the line, or either you can wait right after it breaks the 50 moving average, which I usually don't wait for that. But because in here, if you enter probably on your 38 Fibonacci line, for me it's too late. And I always, pull my trailing stop when I'm in profit. I like to, even if I catch, 50 cents, $2, whatever, but I ready to take some profit out of the market instead of going negative. Because I was reading some of the note on the chat room. There are a lot of people, they show positive in the beginning, but they failed to to put a trailing stop, and then they go back to negative. So you're not in the business to lose. If you can make little by little, your account will grow eventually. But that's what I do. Now if you go back to the 50 minute, look at the 50 minute is ready. I'll show you. I don't know if it's gonna show. It's acting up. Okay, let me go back here. Let me go back here. Look at here. Here's your triple arrow. If you would have cut this right in the beginning, you would have been somewhere from here. You would have been right now and 158 pips. See, that's what I like. That's what I like, the 50 minute. Now, what did you see on the 50 minute? There's a triple arrow pulling down.
Yes, sir.
You got a nice crossover on your MACD, and then there's a crossover as well on your ADX. So, but this triple arrow is the pullback, because the trend on your 4 hour is showing you that the trend is going up. You see, it was just this candle here that is giving us those three, the triple arrow. So that's what I do. But that's what I always, follow the largest time frame, because that's where I like to, go. I like to go with the trend. Don't trade against the trend, because you're not gonna succeed that far. But any other question? Or you guys want me to show you the RSI?
Yeah, I would like that.
This is Cherry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your text. All right, pretty much, Cherry. This is so simple, but this one works only on your mobile. That's why we had the triple arrow. I had the triple arrow here. So you guys it can make more sense for you, since you are part of our group already. But for instance, what I look for on the statistic. I make sure that it's a crossover. Let me put the vertical line here. Look at here. There's a nice crossover. One. Make sure on the 50, on the RSI, it break your 50 line. It reject your 50 level, which it did. It rejected right there. And then what do you see in your moving averages on your chart? There is a crossover, and that's all you gotta look. Oh, another thing that I make sure you add the parabolic into your chart, And usually the crossover on your chart is gonna appear after the 6-7 parabolic. For instance, in this one is more than that, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, about the 10 parabolic, that's when you had the crossover. But everything else below that, it was telling you that it was a buy. And that's what I do. That's it. That's it.
Okay, so you saying the RSI should be below the 50?
Repeat your question again.
The RSI, you said it should be below 50 for a buy?
It has to break your 50 line level.
Oh, break. Okay.
You see here, I have it. I call that safe entry. I don't worry about it like when it goes over the 70 or either go below the 30. I don't care about that. All I want to be is safe and take my entry after it reject your 50 level. Let's find another nice trade. Look at here. This is another great example. Okay, we got a nice crossover here. In this example, we got 1 2 3 4 5 parabolics, and then you got your first signal, right? The next one is you're looking for the rejection on your 50 RSI. You got 2 there, and then you need a crossover on your stochastic. And what did you got there? That's it. That's it. And remember, all you looking is only for 10 pip. 10 pip is super easy to grab. So you grab those 10 pip and move to the next one. But if you would have entered on the second candle, let me see. Actually, if you would have entered right in the middle of the engulfing candle, that would be 772. Yeah, that would be, oh, that would be so easy. Not right after they finish the candle, you would be out in profit. That's why 10 pip is super easy to do. And look at this one. If you would have cut on the way up, there's another entry here. There's a nice crossover on your moving averages. Look at what is showing us on the RSI. It rejects your 50 line already, right? And then you got a nice crossover on your stochastic, and that's all you need. You would have grabbed that one and you walk out. That's it, 10 pips, so easy. And look for the next setup. This is just one example, but I mean, you're gonna see this all the time, and you're gonna be grabbing them pretty quick. And trust me, 10 pips can get you out of financial stress if you are in that situation. But I mean, 10 pips, it can make a huge difference. Because for a lot of people, they don't even make 10 pips a week. And we had the system in which you can do it. I have another video in my channel in which I have all the settings that I broke it down to another person. You can go and review that one if you want. Let me see if I find another one. Let me just scroll. Okay, there's a nice one here too. All right, you see here we got the triple arrow, which you're not gonna see it anyway on your phone. But all you're gonna be seeing is the crossover. So we got the first crossover, which is here, and then we got a rejection on your 50 RSI. We got 1, 2 with the parabolic, 3 and 4. All you're looking is for 4 signals, and there you go. That's it. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Hey, Irvin, how you doing?
Good, thank you, sir.
All right, on the 10 pip and dip, You can't get triple arrows on your mobile phone. You have to use the SARS. Is that what represents the triple arrow of the SARS?
Not exactly. Unfortunately, there's no way we can put the triple arrow on the mobile, but that's what I kind of like match it, the PSR with my entries, because remember, all you gotta look is for those for the crossover on the moving averages.
Yeah.
Usually it's gonna appear 4 to 6 up to, sometime up to 8 parabolics. That's in there. You got 3 signals, and then you put your eyes down. Make sure, to me, my engine is my RSI. If the RSI is not showing me what I want, I don't care how good it is in all the rest of the indicators. I make sure that that one is my main engine, and then I just look down for the statistic that has a nicely crossover, and bingo, that's it. For instance, in here, right? Let me see. There's right here. So you see, there's a crossover on your moving averages,
Right.
and then you got couple parabolics already showing the market is trending down. And then what did you see here on the on your RSI? The RSI already reject your
50.
your
Yeah.
50. And look at this, and it was just commencing in that time on your statistic. You got a nicely crossover, and boom, 10 pips are easy to grab. You will
Okay.
be amazed. You will be amazed. So I don't know if you work full time, but like having this set up on your mobile is the most profitable way to see it. Another thing that you can add that I'm just learning it. Let me add it up in here so I can show you. I know this the 6X is on every platform. Where is it? Hold up, hold up. Where is it?
Would you add the ADX to your indicators on the mobile?
Yes, you have to. You
Yeah.
have to.
Okay.
The ADX is for some reason the 6X is not working. It's fade out. But I use 3. I wish I could show you, because the 6X already is built in on the system. But oh, look at this perfect sample here on the 4 hours. Another thing that I do is make sure when you do your analysis on your mobile, look for the rejection on 4 hours, and execute your trade on 50 minutes.
Okay.
That's all I do. Don't just trade blindly on the 50 minute, because you don't know what the larger time frame is doing. But like for instance in here, right? I would have way right there. You see, it was barely showing you there was a crossover on the moving average. This is not a perfect sample, but you still can get your 10 pip. So the parabolic is showing down. Let me see if I can draw something. Okay, you see the parabolic is down, and then we got it was barely showing us there was gonna be a crossover on the moving averages, and then we got a big momentum already trending down on the 50 RSI, and look at what the statistic was showing us.
You have the crossover for the sell.
Crossover, right? So, but unfortunately, that was not enough 10 pip for you to walk away. Actually, yeah, it was more than 10. You see how easy it is? In there
Yeah,
was
in
12. It was,
that situation, that was on the 4 hours. So if it would have dropped on my 15 minute, I would have gotten 10 pips
oh yeah,
in 15 minutes.
oh yeah. easily, easily. That's what I like to use the 4 hours, because I mean, this is just like a gift giving it to us. So all we gotta do it. If you stick to the rules, trust me, it can be making many mistakes. There will be some, and make sure your if you're taking this, I like to put my stop loss right on the beginning of the parabolic,
Okay.
or sometimes I move it tight. But sometimes when I'm in profit, let's say sometimes I'm in profit like $12, $15. So I move my trailing stop to take me out on either $4 or $5. I rather take $5 than take letting the system to hit my stop loss. And
So you don't wait for the 50 moving average for extra confirmation. You just go on your lower EMAs moving averages.
yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's
What are
it.
your moving averages? Is it 9 and 18 that you're using?
That is correct, and they are exponential.
Exponential.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure you add the ADX,
Yeah.
and put the same setting that we use. Let me show you here. I have the plus is lime, the negative is red, and I like to use the second thickness. And make sure your style is white, which is the momentum. And I like to
Yeah.
have the 4 thickness in there. The period, just leave it as normal, which is the 14 last candles, and that's it. Because to me, this the ADX is it makes a huge difference. Since Jenny introduced this, that was it. That was it. Now I'm, I'm becoming more profitable than ever, and it's simply because I stick to my rules. If something I don't like, then I just stay away.
Can you pull up the settings for your stochastic for the mobile? I'm setting it up right now on my phone.
It's actually since I send it to you, because
Okay.
this is it's gonna be a YouTube video, and I know this
Yeah.
is part of the triple arrow. So
Okay.
I send you the settings, and so like that you can plug it in into your mobile.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. I appreciate it.
yeah. All right, guys. Any other question before I close this?
Sir, I hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
So I got disconnected a while ago, so I missed a bit. But I want to ask on this 10 pips flip flop. Analysis are done on the 4 hours and entry in the 15 minutes. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep. But you understand all the rules, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, cool. Okay, any other question?
Hey, Irvin, one more question. How do you determine your mind if you want to go with the daily for confirmation or the 4 hour? Is it just you just look through all your pairs and look for the setup, then you go with that, or
Yeah.
what do you do?
Usually the daily, I like to trade the daily, either the 1 hour, and the 4 hours, I like to trade it on the 15 minute.
Okay. And so do you use a stare method or do you do the now later method?
Well, I do my analysis on Sunday. And what
And
I
so,
do is, since I already have analysis that I'm expecting, because my goal was in the beginning was to learn the system. So I already plug in. Let me go back to any pair. For instance, in here, right? So we got
yeah.
a triple arrow. So we don't have no dot yet. That is gonna for some reason the Fibonacci is acting up, but we don't have no dot yet of the reversal yet on this pair on the GBP was NCD.
NZD, GP
Right.
NZD, yep.
Yeah, so we don't have no reject. But look at what it's touching. It's touching the 50 moving average, and usually that's an area where that's the pullback as well. Because obviously you're not gonna have the Fibonacci on your mobile if you're gonna do it on your mobile. But and this is just for your PC because this is the triple arrow. But
Yeah, I'm talking to PC, yeah.
yeah,
I'm with you.
right. So I'm probably it's gonna do another 2-3 more candle, and then it's gonna do a small pullback. Because remember the trend is up, or either all this week is gonna continue down and stick to the same level where it started. Because that's what I have it in there. You know, my analysis that is maybe it's gonna go all the way to the almost to the AA line, to the previous high, and then it's gonna reverse back to the beginning. And the market loves to do that. And then once probably a week from now, it's gonna continue up.
So with this, with GM right now, would you wait for the pullback to consider entering a trade?
Sometime I do, sometime I don't.
Okay, it depends what the 15 minutes is showing in this situation.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to enter right in the beginning when I like to trade when the triple arrow are fresh. Don't trade when the trend is too late because that will put you into negative for a while. You don't want to see that. Let me see.
That's happened to me before where I got in too late and I've just been impatient. So I understand that.
Yeah, there you go. I just fixed the Fibonacci line. Look at what I have my retracement, and look at what the AA line is sitting. Remember, it's 38, 50, and 61 are your retracement.
Yeah.
So either the market is gonna continue to the 38 or either the 50, and then it's gonna come down.
Yeah.
Because right now you should see the trend. If you move to 15 minutes, you should see that the market maybe has the triple arrow because of that candle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. My chart was working fine, man. Now that I have you guys, it's acting up. Let me see. I just pressed the 15 minute. Let's see what it shows us. Look at because of one candle is now it formed the triple arrow, and this is the pullback. So if it on the 15 minute probably it's gonna do the pullback all the way to the AA line, but on the larger time frame it's showing us that it's gonna continue up. Another thing that I realized on the AA line, sometimes it does the pullback right in the middle of the white line. To be honest, I don't even know what's the meaning of it, but it loves to do the pullback in that particular area as well.
So in this situation, you'd wait for the 15 minutes to show you green candle, the green arrow, a green arrow to show that it's reversing in the original, the true trend.
No, what I like to see on the 4 hours is I like to take the trade right after I see the big candle. Another thing that I have added on it is I have put a dot on my monthly, which is the blue ones. I put that on my weekly, daily, and 4 hours. And when I write the trend, is I make sure the big arrow and the small arrow are showing up with couple of dots, either the daily or the weekly, and then I move quickly to my 15 minutes and I write the trend. Because also the ADX is very powerful, and this the major killers. I know that it's a killer, man. It works. It works. Because look at the momentum on this major killer indicator. It usually appears only when the triple arrow forms. Do you see anywhere else there's a momentum? And here, no. Look at that. It was flat out. Look, it shows here right where we got the triple arrow. See that triple arrow? You put vertical line there. We got a nicely, I will say, a
Yes, I see.
mountain on the major killer. Then look it down. There's no arrow. There's no triple arrow there, so there's not necessary to have another momentum. Look at what it's showing on the wave on the reverse back. We have a big momentum.
Yep.
We got a crossover, and look at here. See here? There's a triple
That's
arrow
good.
here, and we got it here. That's what it is.
Is a major killer peak in the group for the file?
It's not. One of our group members gave it to me,
Okay.
and since he gave it to me, I can remove everything else, and I can just trade between the magic killer and my triple arrow, and boom. It seems like it seems like it's the triple arrow.
Yeah, I see it.
It's super accurate, man. To be honest, all you need to have is the ADX, Magic Killer, and the triple arrow, and you're good to go. If you want to trade that way.
Can you see that to me in the file, the major killer?
Yeah, I sent it to you guys. I think there are five members on this training. I send it to each of you guys. And,
Okay.
So you guys can plug it in, and make sure. Let me show you the settings. What I have here. Make sure leave the length 150, historic back 500. Time frame 100 and time frame 2 on the first and higher low is true, model mode online true, and the rest should be false. Okay, and the colors, as always, we love the lime and red, and make sure your width is gonna be 2. And don't touch anything. Make sure you add by default it's gonna have it 25 and 15. So make sure you add the 0 line, and the style is gonna be white, and your probably your lines will be the second one, and that's it.
So with the major killer, what you want is that big peak, whether it's red or green.
Yeah.
You want to see it at least go to the 25. And then that's a good confirmation.
Oh yeah. Once I send it to you and you plug it in, you will be amazed that usually the big peak on the magic killer will appear on your triple arrow.
Okay.
And if you just stick to that, that's it.
Okay.
And I'm reading some of your comments, guys. I will send it to the 5 of you guys, and just study this and hopefully be ready by Tuesday setting. But at least that's my analysis for this week. You do not have to trade it, but what I like to do is when Pat is doing his live training, some of you guys already asked for my analysis, and all I do is I verify that my ideas were either correct or wrong, and I feel more confident on myself, saying like, wow, I was really right. I mean, some of those are gonna go against my analysis, but it's okay. No one in this business gonna win 100%.
Right.
All right. So, any other question? If not, thank you guys for joining, and I will see you hopefully next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.